Hello and welcome back. In the previous video, we looked at a simple unconstrained profit maximization problem for a firm for a given demand and cost schedule. In this video, we will look at the following example where a firm produces two products X1 and X2, sells them at prices P1 equal to 2 and P2 equal to 2, and faces the following capacity constraints. 4x1 plus x2 is less than equal to 55 and 2x1 plus 3x2 is less than equal to 65. The non-negativity constraints also hold, that is x1 and x2 both should be greater than or equal to 0. And the firm is clearly interested to identify what is the level of x1 and x2 that maximizes its revenue. Now this is an example of a simple linear programming problem, and we will use solver to identify the solution to this problem. So let's consider some arbitrary initial values for x1 and x2 as 1 and 2. P1 and P2 are 2 each. The total revenue is basically sum product, price into quantity. So it's sum product of P into X, that is P1 into X1 and P2 into X2. We specify as before the parameter values that correspond to constraints, and constraint 1 is basically equal to 4 into x1 plus x2 is less than equal to 55, and constraint 2 is 2 into x1 plus 3 into x2 is less than equal to 65. So let's click on solver. The objective is to maximize revenue. Maximize is the option that we have selected here. If we are looking at a minimization problem, we would have clicked on min. So we maximize the revenue by changing cells x1 and x2. Subject to constraints, cell reference E13 corresponds to constraint 1 is less than equal to 55. We say add, and cell reference E14 corresponds to constraint 2 is less than equal to 65, and we say OK. Make the unconstrained variables non-negative. This option is being checked. This is equivalent to saying that x1 and x2 are both greater than or equal to 0. We choose the simplex LP method, and let's click on solve. Alright. So solver has identified the solution as x1 equal to 10 and x2 equal to 15. The total revenue that corresponds to this bundle is equal to 50, and this is the revenue maximizing level bundle for this particular firm. In the next video, we will look at the same example and we will verify the answer that x1 is equal to 10 and x2 is equal to 15 graphically. Thank you.